welcome. This is the twin flame reading for October. So we're actually having a full moon, I believe, in Aries, which I think is either today or tomorrow. We're kind of basically in the full moon energy right now. And apparently it's supposed to empower us on our purpose. So you should get quite a bit of clarity from this full moon about your relationship, okay? And this reading is about the twin flame for October, but it doesn't have to be your twin flame. It could just be somebody who's emotionally avoidant in your life. Okay, and if you can hear banging or noise, I have got builders around, so I do apologise for that. They're still around. They're really nice. They're trying to be mindful of the fact that I'm filming. I didn't even speak to them to say about this, but Spirit must have told them, because they said, oh, you've told someone you need to work, and I said, no, I haven't. So I don't know, Spirit must have made them do it, but they came up to me just now and I said, look, I do want to do some filming now, so I'm really hoping they're going to stay quiet while I'm doing this reading. So we're going to see what happens. Bless them. They've got their work to do, so I can't be nasty to them. We just got all the work around each other. And that's the matrix, isn't it? We're sort of trying to work around connections a lot of the time that are very testing and triggering, you know, and it's difficult because we've all got a human ego, haven't we? So it's not easy for any of us, you know, because we've all got our own particular triggers and things like that. So yeah, could be quite feeling like a bit of a testing time right now as I speak. But this is obviously for October, just to see what energies we're getting with twin flame or an emotionally avoidant person in October, okay? So I'm going to pick a card from this lovely deck, first of all, to do with this relationship, okay? This relationship with an emotionally avoidant person, possibly your twin flame, okay? We'll just see what message Spirit brings through initially. Okay, forgive. Aww. Forgive. The act of forgiveness releases tension. Oh dear, I can feel the tension in the air at the moment. Okay, so you're being guided to be humble. You're being guided to forgive. So, you know, it is hard sometimes, isn't it, to forgive people for the way they are, particularly when it feels like they're not being very fair on us. But if we can find it in ourselves to forgive and just be humble, and that actually helps us to kill off our ego. So it's like a win-win for us, really, if we can forgive and be humble and accepting and try to just accept the way things are, you know? Because Spirit does ultimately understand what the higher plan for us is. So there's forgiveness going on. And, you know, the interesting thing, this is probably going to become easier and easier as we go into October. And also, it may well be as well that your person becomes a bit more forgiving of you, or others become more forgiving of you as well, and a bit more kind. So there's kind of more kindness coming, isn't there, in this connection. So let's have a look at the recent past to do with this connection, this twin flame or emotionally avoidant person. Okay, there's the Ten of Pentacles. So recent past, there's been a lot of things that have needed attention, because the Ten of Pentacles represents family matters and responsibilities, you know, and actually doing well with that, actually being more responsible in terms of dealing with things that you've both been needing to deal with, perhaps either together or just separately in your own lives. Like your person's had a lot of things, responsibilities and things they've needed to pay attention to, and so have you. Okay, but it's to good ends. It's like there's been important things to attend to. There's also the Ace of Swords. It feels like you've recently had a breakthrough. And so there is a breakthrough here in a relationship recently that's happened. And it is to do with truth, you know, because sometimes we get so torn in our minds between what we want, what we think we want, what we need, what we think we need, and then we get all confused. But when we have the Ace of Swords, it's a sign that there's a breakthrough. And when we realise what our truth actually is, we can step away from that internal dialogue and that confusing conflict in our minds that's constantly arising and just say, do you know what? I don't need to pay attention. My mind, my ego wants to keep focusing on the conflict and the confusion, you know, and things like that. But actually, if I step away from my mind and just home in on my truth, that's all I really need to do. And that's what facing your demons is all about. It's about fearlessly walking in your truth, fearlessly walking in your alignment, and just following your truth and ignoring the mind when it's trying to give you negative thoughts and things like that. So recently you've made a breakthrough to do with the things that are important to you, the things you need to focus on. And there could well have been a breakthrough between you and this person to do something to do with your connection, which is good. Okay, and you may even be, because this is obviously for October, you may even be experiencing this now, because this is sort of saying the recent past. So this could be what we've been dealing with in September, having some kind of breakthrough to do with this relationship and what your truth is, and the fact that you know it may not make any sense to anyone else, but you know what your truth is, and you've been aligning all of those things and following what's important to you, which is a really important breakthrough, because then you're less conflicted and you're not going to keep changing your mind all the time and getting lost in sort of like conflicting thoughts, which really ultimately isn't good for ourselves at all when we're in conflict like that, you know. And that's the state the ego likes to keep us in, but following your truth. Okay, so let's see what's going to be going on then in October to do with this relationship, okay? Page of Cups. So that's a very nice card. It feels like a new beginning that's exciting. It's very new, and you might sometimes feel a bit nervous and a bit tentative, a bit cautious, even maybe a bit naive at times about sort of opening up to a new path in this relationship or in your relationships, okay? There's a feeling of excitement, and there's a feeling of exploring, but it's like such a good feeling. It could also be somebody is sort of here stepping forward who may have a message, you know, who may also be planted by spirit to kind of help you in some way, all right? There's definitely attraction here. You could be exploring sexually with somebody as well. You could have a situation where there's a lot of attraction between you and somebody else in October. And it also, I want to say, we as a soul family sort of becoming more attractive. And you know what? When you're standing in your truth and your authenticity, and you're not going crazy anymore between what you know, all the different conflicts in your head, but you just stand by your truth and you're authentic, that is one of the most attractive energies you can have. So it does look like we are sort of becoming more attractive in October, which is quite nice. It looks nice because there's definitely attraction between you and somebody else here. And it feels like there's a new beginning with this as well. So let's have a look what your person thinks about you in October. Okay, they've got the Emperor. So this person could be a bit dominating, okay? The Emperor does tend to be that type of energy. It doesn't have to be a male, it's just an energy. It is quite a masculine energy in this person. And the thing is, they are quite rational. probably a bit cold at times, but they are quite serious. They're going through some sort of transformation to do with you in October, okay? And it's going to be big. It's going to be massive for this person who likes to think rationally and be real. I mean, you're being real. You're dealing with somebody who's very real here. And it looks like this person is going to be going through a transformation that's going to be major, okay? And they're obviously aware that they are going through some kind of major transformation, and they're trying to be logical about it. They're trying to be rational about it, and they're quite serious, okay? So the energies are coming through quite good here for October. What does this person actually think of you in October? Okay, they, for some reason, get fed up in October. They've got here the Four of Cups, okay? Let's see why that is. It's like there's something making your person feel a bit fed up. Perhaps they feel they can't get to you. Perhaps, let's have a see. Queen of Swords. I would say this person has resisted massively your connection. They've got here the Four of Cups to the Queen of Swords, and they tend to drop into being, like I said, quite rational, maybe a bit cold, and they're getting some kind of vision. They're very clear. I feel like they're feeling things, and it makes them feel quite frustrated or fed up at times, because they definitely want to do things their way. They definitely want to approach things with a very clear vision. I think they're quite bitter from the past with the Queen of Swords energy. They don't want to get hurt. They try to push love away, but they're going through a transformation. They're realising the attraction that there is between you both. So I feel like they're very clear that they like you, but they struggle with that on an emotional level. Okay. Let's see how they're feeling in October. They may sometimes find you quite cold, and they may sometimes feel like you're sulking as well. They're raising their vibration in October. They've got the Magician card. Okay, so they will be raising their vibration, primarily because I think they are realising on a very clear level how much they like you, okay? They're definitely knowing that. There's definitely been a breakthrough very recently for this person. They're going to be starting a new chapter. This is confirmation because we've got the World card here. The World means an ending of an old cycle and the beginning of a new cycle, and it's also the raising of their consciousness. This person, okay, it is a major transformation for them. You're going to see your person in October really going through a massive transformation. They are going to be raising their game, raising their vibration, and they've been resisting it for ages. It's made you feel sulky and fed up. It's made you be quite cold towards them a lot of the time. But this recent realisation that for some reason you have a long-term connection with each other has finally broken through to you both. And you both realise in September, this connection is not going anywhere. It's not over. It's not ended. It's still there. Okay, it's definitely still there. The attraction is still there, you know, and your person is always trying to maintain control, but there is some kind of transformation they're going through, and I feel spirit is sort of taking the reins off this person who's been trying to hold it all back. But in October, that's no longer going to be the case, and their vibration is rising. Your person must have been going through some kind of healing process, you know, and it's like they're finally realizing, do you know what, you are making this person very happy, and they like spending time with you, and they do care about you, and they do have a lot of fun with you, and they're going to be going through loads. And I wouldn't be surprised if this full moon right now in Aries is making this person have this kind of level of clarity. Okay, so how does your person want to move forward in October? Let's have a look. Right, they've got the Three of Pentacles here. That is a card of progress. So it's the beginning, but it's like they're finally realizing so much about your connection. They're realizing, yes, I do want to proceed. Yes, I have to. It's not something I can hold back on anymore, you know. They want to move forward with you, and they want progress, and they want to work together with you as a team more. Let's pick a card to go with that one. Two of Pentacles, you know, that they are going to be seriously getting a better balance, seriously weighing up this connection with you and deciding, finally, we've got to move forward with this now, you know. I'm just going to have a drink of my coffee. Sorry. Oh dear, it's decaf coffee, because otherwise I get a bit jittery if I have too much caffeine in one day. So, yeah, they're going from being very private, very mysterious with the two energy, which is sort of like a fork in the road. And then they're just having a breakthrough, like, yes, I do want to proceed. So this is an amazing, I think October is going to be an amazing month. I feel like it is starting now as we're coming towards the end of September. So what's hidden that you don't see for October? The Empress. I knew it was going to be a good card. I should have said, I know this is going to be a good card. So again, it's like they're opening up, because the Empress is a very open energy. It's with the High Priestess and the Magician. I've already mentioned we've got the twos, which is High Priestess energy there. Moving into the threes, your connection with this person is going to be going from very mysterious, very sort of stuck, into progress in October. It's going to be the very beginnings of it. But there's a cycle that is closing down, and the cycle that is closing down is one of coldness. There has been coldness, and there has been a lot of stuck energy. And it's because you've both had to do healing on your emotional world. And in October, that sort of process, that stage is finally complete. Okay? And that's why in October, there is going to be sudden progress and growth and more openness between you both. And look at the first card, remember? Forgive. I said it's a kinder energy. It's a more humble energy. It's like you're learning to both be more humble of each other, less judgmental of each other, less triggered. There's more of a kindness, more compassion between you both. Okay, so this is amazing. It's like still being careful, but in a good way. Four of Pentacles, because with the Four of Pentacles, it is a careful energy. A lot of people say it's very blocked, but it makes you so abundant and rich, the Four of Pentacles, because you're really careful where you're putting your energy. And I think for both of you, in October, it's like you're not taking silly risks anymore. You're not taking silly risks like you did before, when you were both in denial about the connection and being taking it in turns to be very cold with one another. You know, it's like, honestly, there's something happening in September, I can guarantee you, where you're both having a major breakthrough, that this connection is continuing. Okay, and I just want to reiterate that it might not be, because for me, it's not with my twin flame, right? My twin flame thing is done, but I know that this is something to do with an emotionally avoidant person in my life. And this situation has been very stuck and difficult, but in this month of September, it's like, whoa, just finally stop being in denial, stop playing silly games. It's crystal clear we are proceeding with each other, and this situation is going to keep improving now. And you're not playing silly games where you take risks to annoy each other, you know, or like, you know, take silly risks like meeting different people, playing those sorts of games. Like, it's like, no, I'm going to be more careful now. It's like you're valuing each other more. That's what you don't see right now. You might be seeing the beginnings of it, or you might not be seeing it at all. But I can guarantee you from this reading, you are going to be both valuing each other more in October. Let's see what the advice from Spirit is. Oh, the builders are being very nice. They're being so quiet right now. Oh dear. What's the advice from Spirit? Okay, they're just reminding you not to overanalyze this situation, because it will drive you crazy if you keep trying to overanalyze it. Spirit wants you to have more faith, okay? And I know that's hard, but the best way I can describe how I do it is by being humble. Just reminding myself that Spirit is always teaching me to be humble, because Spirit does know best. And Spirit is taking us through this very strange journey, because Spirit understands all the things that we need to learn. So we have to be very humble, rather than getting angry and frustrated really easily and going panicky and crazy, which I know as a soul family we do. It's all about having faith, keeping the mind calm, trying not to overthink things to do with the future. You must stay in the present moment with this relationship. Stop worrying about the future. Stop thinking about it. Because like I said right at the beginning, you're having a very important breakthrough right now. And your important breakthrough is that in your truth, in your heart, you know this person is right for you. Yeah? Or for some of you, you may now know that you know what your truth is, whatever that may be. You know what your truth is, and you must keep following your truth. Don't worry about the details, okay? Because if you do try to worry about the details, it's going to drive you nuts with the Seven of Cups, and that won't do your mental health any good whatsoever. The Tower. Now, the Tower falls down because you have to come into your truth, and you realise that it doesn't matter what is going on around you, how crazy it may seem. My truth is my truth right now, and that is the alignment I must follow. If we don't follow our truth, what's happening? We're slipping into ego, and then we're creating all sorts of rubbish and distractions that are confusing, okay? So they are telling you very clearly, right, in the rest of this month in September and in October, stick to your truth. Okay, and that's going to mean that some of the things you were doing before are not going to be what you're doing anymore. You are going to be stopping doing certain habits, or maybe speaking to certain people and doing certain things, and you're not going to be doing that anymore, because you realise, and Spirit is telling you, if you just stick to your truth, you're going to create the life you want, and you're going to create the relationship you want. Okay, it's going to be the right one this time. It's going to be done in the right way. So as crazy as it may seem, as triggering as this is, you know the truth in your heart. There is no point in lying to yourself. There's no point in talking to other people or seeing other people. Stick with your truth. Okay, so let's have a look at the outcome You know, we're going to get through this. It is very testing. Like I said, you could feel very tested on this full moon, but it's the Aries full moon, like I said, and it's aligning you to your purpose, because Aries has the courage to follow its purpose. And that's the clarity you're getting at the moment as I speak. You are getting the clarity of what your truth is, you know, what your purpose is to do with this connection, to do with your love life. And it's like, I've got the courage to finally own it and see it and follow it. And it may make no sense right now, but that's my truth. And I've got to keep, you know, it's like take one step at a time, even though you can't see the full path ahead, you know. So let's have a look at the outcome for October. Okay, so we've got the Three of Swords. Oh God. Now that is a heartbreak card. That is purging. Okay. I feel this is to do with the ego. Okay, so our ego is taking a hit here because your relationship does not look probably how your ego would like it to look. And that's why it's so hard to follow your truth, because we're conditioned by society to have a relationship like this perfect wonderland, and unfortunately life in the matrix is not like that. Okay, so it is going to cause you to purge, and it's probably going to cause your person to purge, because this connection is not like a regular relationship like in your head you thought you were going to get, you know. And that's why the spirit is saying try not to think about those details, because it will drive you nuts and it will keep sabotaging you. Okay, now what I want to say is important. I do think it's very possible with the Three of Swords to the Nine of Swords that your person is going to be purging and finding things difficult in October as they sense things getting more serious between you both. And this is going to touch within them some wounds and also with you. So it's like Spirit is preparing you to really just not overthink things, to really stay with your truth, that you do like each other, you do have a connection, it's not going away. Okay, you've got the King of Cups at the bottom of the deck, which indicates that, you know, you're protected by Spirit. You're protected by Spirit, and the King of Cups is mastery of love, it's mastery of emotions, and it's mastery of spirituality. And you've got the Eight of Wands at the bottom, which is progress and messages. There's going to be a lot more communication between you both in October, right? And you've got, it's going to trigger you because this connection is making you learn so many things spiritually, both of you, because honestly, there's been so much coldness and there's been so much stagnancy between you both at times, and you've both really got sulky with each other and fed up with the situation. But in October, it's like you can't deny it anymore. You cannot deny the truth anymore. You know, you like each other, you're attracted, you're still in each other's lives, okay? Your person is being taken through a transformation to admit their feelings to themselves and to move forward with you, you know? Now, and you're both being more careful. You're not sabotaging the connection as much as you were, but the only sabotage can happen is just as you're getting more intimate with each other. Because this, like I said, the Three of Swords, typically people say it's the heartbreak card, but it's like a purging card. And with the Nine of Swords, that is thinking too much and getting anxious. It's provoking anxiety for both of you because you're getting more intimate in October, and that triggers old stuff to come up. And that's why you've met your twin flame, or that's why you've got this emotionally avoidant person in your life, because it's teaching you how you've been emotionally avoidant and how to kind of work through a very deep emotional issues and to just sort of like keep moving forward and not shut down every time. And your person, I think you're probably going to see your person get quite triggered at times as you start to get more intimate because it's like, oh, you know, it's so triggering for them. What's your person wanted to do? Your person's wanted to be the emperor. They've wanted to be very much in control and quite cold, but they're going through a transformation. Spirit's taking them through a transformation whereby they have to admit they like you, so, or love you, you know, even. And so yeah, there's more mastery coming through all of this, and I know this is going to be a testing few weeks, but it's also going to be exciting at times. It's also going to be really lovely to have these breakthroughs and realize how much you do really like each other, but it's not going to be without its challenges. And Spirit's advice is to be that you're going to be more forgiving of each other, you're going to be more compassionate when you trigger each other, you know, and it's bound to happen because we've all got intimacy issues, and when we get intimate with somebody, it starts to throw up all our insecurities and things like that. So, you know, yes, you're going to trigger your person, they may well trigger you, but the most important thing to remember is the next 6 weeks, it's going to be a time of progress for this connection. There's going to be a lot more communication than normal. There's going to be a lot more progress than normal. And that's obviously going to trigger your person, and it could well trigger you at times as well. But what's going to come out of it is more emotional and spiritual mastery for both of you, King of Cups. There is definitely a spiritual initiation that you're both going through in this relationship, and this relationship is going to progress because I can see the Chariot card underneath the King of Cups. Okay, so stick with it is what I say, and remember the first card was forgiveness, being forgiving and compassionate and humble and kind. It's amazing what this connection is teaching us, you know. So Spirit has got your back. Spirit is protecting both of you and helping both of you through this, because it's only when you've got a true love connection that you can actually overcome all of your insecurities and all of your demons together, because the bond is much deeper. You know, when you don't really have real love, you can't transcend those things, can you? You know, so instead of every time something triggers up in this connection, it sort of becomes a block, which is what was happening previously, and then you were both allowing it to really block the connection and you blocking each other, there's finally this acceptance and this ability to keep moving forward with the connection regardless of when things get tricky and testing, because it will be getting testing at times. But think of the spiritual and emotional growth that you're both doing through this. And that's why two people like twin flames come together, or, you know, emotionally avoidant people come together, because you can grow together. You can overcome all of these difficulties together. You know, and if you don't have true love, what happens is you just break up, you know, because there's not enough love there for you to both work through the issues and overcome them and transcend them. And that's what Eckhart Tolle calls the transcendent aspect of a relationship, you know. And it's the same thing with family, you know, that you love but they drive you up the wall. And it's the same thing with friendships, you know, that drive you up the wall and severely test you. But when there's true friendship or true family bond or true love, you know, that Spirit's placed you and blessed you with that person because you can overcome these experiences together. So that's what I'm seeing for our soul family. That's what Spirit's showing me for our soul family for the next few weeks. And obviously I will do the soulmate reading for October, and also the relationship reading for October the next couple of weeks. So we'll keep tracking how it's all going, you know. But it's overall, it's testing, but it's good, and there's progress and there's growth, and you're working through things. If you think something has come to an end, I want to say to you, it's probably definitely not at the end, okay? And if you are in a new relationship and it's not your twin flame, this relationship's going to test you, but there's enough of a connection here that you overcome things. So just keep following your truth. That's what Spirit's saying. So I'm sending you so much love because I know how testing these relationships are. And if you want to book in for a reading, you know you're welcome. Just contact me, message me, you know, my information is all below. I've got a website as well. And if you feel really stuck at all, you can book in for either a tarot reading or your birth chart. I help you look at that, because that can help you understand why you keep blocking yourself in relationships, or why relationships seem to be very blocking towards you, if you want to put it like that. And I can help you understand it from your birth chart as well. So I'm sending you lots of love and peace across Gaia. Thanks for supporting, and one love wherever you are on Gaia.